Have continuing team coverage on the Oregon wildfires. Kelly Bayern tracking the unhealthy air quality we're still experiencing. And Cor Harlan is in Marion County, where one of the biggest fires is still burning. The Beachie Creek Fire, east of Salem, now 20% contained. It's more than 191,000 acres in size. Crews have been working to secure the perimeter of that fire. They estimate about 1,200 structures have been destroyed, another 130 structures damaged. The Beachie Creek Fire remains about a mile apart from the Riverside Fire. Officials say the two fires could still merge, but right now firefighters are working to prevent that from happening.
And we are getting a new sense of just how much damage has been done in the path of the Beachie Creek Fire.
Our Cor Harlan met with Marion County commissioners today. He has some new information about the scope of the damage we're seeing and the recovery here forward. Cor?
Hi, Emily. Hi, Jenny. We met with county commissioners this morning. The first thing they point out is that this is still a very active fire situation with a lot of people and personnel fighting it. But now, 8 full days after that small fire up towards the crest of the Cascades blew into a huge firestorm that came down the Santiam River Canyon, we're learning more about the extent of the damage and some of the hazards still posed even after the flames have moved through. This is Oregon State Patrol car dashcam video illustrating the dangers still standing and falling along Highway 22. The burned out tree falls directly onto the hood of the patrol car without warning. Hazardous tree removal is maybe the most immediate danger, so this morning before sunrise, tree crews, heavy equipment, and wood chippers began work removing a staggering estimated number of hazardous trees. Hazardous tree removal is maybe the most immediate danger, so this morning before sunrise, tree crews, heavy equipment, and wood chippers began work removing a staggering estimated number of hazard trees they'll need to remove.
10 to 80,000 trees need to be secured, removed. A big job. The other thing we saw, and certainly is a health and safety thing, not counting fires themselves that aren't completely out, is rocks falling down.
Those falling rocks look like this. This is video taken by sheriff's deputies in the immediate aftermath of the firestorm. Tree trunks and rocks all over Highway 22 between Mill City and Detroit. The workday began very early Wednesday morning. Dozens of utility trucks, heavy equipment haulers, log trucks, and more made their way east through the roadblock. All of the trucks getting to work on repairing infrastructure burned. I asked Marion County Public Works Director Brian Nicholas about the extent of the damage done to big public infrastructure items that were in the path of the fire.
To answer the question about utilities, I think there's only one word, and that's extensive.
Power and cable utility lines in the burn area, most of them destroyed and down. Northwest Natural has had service trucks in the area. Cell service is hit and miss, and several cities in the burn area have problems that go beyond that.
Some of the cities have lost their water systems, like Detroit and Gates. Lyons sounds like they came through it okay.
And finally, from Marion County Commissioner who lives in Detroit, Kevin Cameron, some sobering numbers. 250 structures out of a total of 400 burned to the ground. And a vow he's hearing from his neighbors in Detroit is a resilience and a commitment to come back.
You can see on Facebook right now, you can see hashtag Detroit Strong. There are people planning meetings saying we're going to rebuild, we need to get up there.
Well, that is a sentiment amongst a lot of those people out there. We also heard from commissioners this morning that they will revisit some of the building codes. A lot of the houses that burned down there were built in the 40s and the 50s, I'm told, from the commissioners. The commission is going to relook at some of the building codes there to see if, in their words, they might make things a little more easy to rebuild, facilitate a few things without, compromising the integrity of the structure at all. But they are already thinking about tomorrow, even as today the fire continues to burn to the tune of about 192,000 acres on the Beachie Creek Fire alone, Emily and Jenny.
Yeah, just looking at that damage along Highway 22, it's just unbelievable. Thank you for that update.